I want to share a story that is a bit of a family tradition in my family. Does anyone here have a favourite food? What's your favourite food? Go.
Pesto pasta.
What is it?
Pesto.
Pesto pasta. Man, that's a refined palate. That's very good. I love a good pesto pasta. Anyone else have a favourite food? Yes, Zach. Sorry? Like gnocchi. Man, oh. Yes. We have a wonderful refined palate amongst all of our kids. Hayley, what's your favourite food? Apple. Apple's good. Emily, have a favourite food? Mango. Well, mango has been a favourite in our household the last week. Mum and Dad got us a big tray from Costco. And Luca looks at the box and says, mango. Mango is one of our favourite things. Now, in my family, there's a bit of a tradition. It's a bit stranger than all the yummy foods that you guys have shared. It's not really a favourite food. It's more a favourite preservative or maybe a favourite seasoning, in that for some reason in my family there's a weird tradition that goes all the way back to my grandfather and my great-grandfather. I remember growing up and we'd be at the dinner table at my great-grandfather's house, which is now my mum and dad's house, and we'd be having tea around the table, and my great-grandfather would pick up the salt shaker and he'd tip it up and tip the salt onto his hand. And what do you think he'd do next? He'd go and eat it. And as a kid, I'm like, that's a bit interesting. And then I watched my grandfather, and guess what he did? He did the same thing. And then growing up, my mum also happened to do the same thing, and eventually it got passed on to me. I'd do the weirdest thing. If we're out at a restaurant, grab the salt shaker and I'd have a little bit of salt. And then when we were away in the UK, one little boy in this church named Luca was watching his Auntie Madison and watching his family, who all happened to all do the same thing. And so what do you think Luca started doing? Wanting the salt. At every single meal, at every single cafe, at every single restaurant, at every single place we went, we had to hide the salt shakers because all that Luca said was, more salt. And he'd be tipping up the salt and trying to eat it and downing it. He's having lots and lots and lots and lots of salt. Very good for us. No. In my sermon today, I'm going to talk a little bit about what it means to have just a little salt in our lives. You say, if you have your pesto pasta, you might pop just a little bit of salt in with the pasta, and it makes the pasta taste even better, right? With your gnocchi, when I like making homemade gnocchi, by the way, and putting a really rich cherry tomato sauce with my gnocchi or a burnt butter sauce with my gnocchi. And to make it taste even better, what do we add to it? A little bit of chicken salt. Oh, that's interesting. Chicken salt. I'll have to try that, Zach. But we add a little bit of salt. We don't really add salt with our apples, though, or with our mangoes. But with lots and lots of foods that we eat, we add just a little bit of salt, and it makes it taste better. And it's just like that with us in our world. All we need is a little bit of kindness, a little bit of goodness, a little bit of gentleness, a little bit of being kind to one another to make our world a much better place. And we're going to talk about that in our sermon today. Thank you for listening so well, boys and girls. You want to go back to your seat.